Welcome to the Introduction to EndNote 20 video series. In this video, I'm going to show you how to share a group in EndNote 20. So before I show you how to share a group, I'm first going to open up a different library, and I'm going to tell you why here in a bit. And I'm going to open this one up on my desktop. Okay, so the reason why I opened up a different library is that in EndNote, you can actually only share groups within one library. This is because in order to share groups, you actually have to have your EndNote library synced with the online version of EndNote. Unfortunately, with EndNote 20, you're only able to have one library synced to the online version of EndNote. So, whenever you choose to sync a library with the online version of EndNote, I always encourage researchers to make a note to themselves that that is the library they have synced to the online version of EndNote. Because if you try to sync a different library with the online version of EndNote, it's going to cause issues. It's going to duplicate citations, it's going to cause errors. It's a headache you don't want. So just remember, you can only have one of your libraries synced to the online version of EndNote, and make sure to make a note of which one it is you have synced to the online version of EndNote. All right, so to sync your EndNote library with the online version of EndNote, all you have to do is click Edit in the upper toolbar, and from the resulting dropdown, you're going to click Preferences. And from there, you're going to select the option for Sync on the left-hand toolbar. And if you don't yet have an online EndNote account, you're going to click this Enable Sync button right here. And from there, if you don't yet have an online EndNote account, you can click this Sign Up button, and it should guide you through the instructions of creating a free online EndNote account. So once you've finished signing up and setting up your account, down here you can then enter in the same exact credentials that you use for that online account, and then click OK. And from there, if it doesn't automatically populate those credentials right here, you're just going to reinsert those same login credentials that you used for that online EndNote account. I should also mention you do not need to use your Wisconsin email address for this. You can use any email address you want and it should work perfectly fine. From here, you have the option to select how you would prefer the library to sync. If you would like the library to sync automatically each time you open it up, you can click to checkmark the Sync Automatically option. As a librarian, I'm a bit more of a control freak though, so I like to leave that uncheckmarked and sync manually instead. But the decision is completely up to you. Once you're done setting up your sync, all you have to do is click Apply, and it should save those settings for you. You shouldn't have to do this again. It should save all of those settings for this library. So once you're done, you can click OK. And then you should now see this little option up here called Sync Status. And it should tell you if it has recently synced this library with the online version of EndNote. If it hasn't yet, you can just click the Sync Now button, which I recommend doing before you try to share a group with anybody. So what syncing does is it creates a copy of your entire EndNote library into that EndNote online account. So in addition to helping you share citations with others, this also kind of gives you a backup of your library in case anything goes haywire on your own computer. So yeah, it's a nice option for accessing a backup of your library as well. All right, so once you've completed a sync of your EndNote library to share a group, all you have to do is select which group you would like to share, and then you're going to right-click that group, and you should see from the resulting dropdown this Share Group option. So if you click that, it'll open up this menu. So here, you would enter in the email addresses of the people with whom you would like to share this group. And if you want to enter in multiple email addresses, just separate them by a comma. As a note, the people with whom you share your group will need to already have an online EndNote account for this to work. If they don't have one, I don't know where the email invitation goes. It just kind of disappears into the abyss. So make sure they already have an online EndNote account before you send an invitation to them. Also, as a note, you'll have to share with the same email address that they have associated with their online EndNote account as well. Here you can actually select which permissions you would like to grant them. So read and write allows them to add citations to your group or delete them or make any sort of edits to them. Read only allows them to access those citations, so they can't make any changes to that group. Once you're done, you can click this invite button and it should send them an email invitation to access those citations. So what this will look like on their end is if they open up the desktop version of EndNote right here and they scroll down, they should see this new thing called Groups Shared by Others. And from there, it'll show all of those groups available to them that someone has shared with them. So for example, if I wanted to access a group shared with me, I would just click to select that group. And what it'll do is it'll take me to the online version of EndNote. It'll prompt me to log in if I'm not logged in already. And from there, I should be able to access that group via the online version of EndNote. An additional way to access shared groups is you can just log into your online EndNote account and it'll show up on the left-hand side under Groups Shared by Others. Now, one of the limitations of sharing citations via groups is you can only access those citations. So you're not going to be able to access any attachments associated with those citations. In order to access attachments associated with citations in citations someone has shared with you, that person will have to share the citations via the Share Library option in EndNote. Thanks for watching. For additional information or support, visit the eBling Library website at https://ebling.library.wisc.edu and click the Help button in the upper right-hand corner of the page for assistance.